I don't know if the referees could have prevented the Sophie Cunningham injury. I'm going to be honest with that. I don't know if the referees could have done it. I don't know if it was intentional from Bria Hartley. I think if it was anyone other than Bria Hartley or Marina Mabry on the Sun team, everyone would have just said, no, it's not intentional, it was completely accidental.
The WNBA is facing a serious problem, and it's bigger than low attendance or weak TV ratings. The real issue is that referees continue to ignore their responsibility when it comes to protecting players. Injuries are piling up across the entire league, not just with the Indiana Fever. And now, with Sophie Cunningham's latest injury, her family has finally had enough and they're speaking out.
Right here, we got Sophie's sister Lindsay and her mom Paula. At WNBA, maybe you should focus less on fining players for commenting on your poor officiating and more about hiring officials that are able to call a consistent game, protect your athletes. Pathetic. Praying for you, Sophie Cunningham. Yeah, officially, my two favorite players in this league that I really particularly love to pull for, they're both out now. And it did not look.
Sophie Cunningham's injury isn't just bad luck or an unfortunate accident. It feels like the direct result of a broken system where referees are quick to call phantom fouls, but somehow turn a blind eye when real danger is happening right in front of them. This double standard has created an environment where players are getting hurt, and Sophie is the latest victim.
There are players that cannot be replaced, and there are an abundance of players that no one gives a shit about. If you're the WNBA, common sense would dictate that you do everything in your power to protect your star players. You do everything you can to protect your assets. But for some reason, this dump of a league seems to protect anonymous faces over the pretty faces. They protect the players who are injuring the players that people are paying to see.
Sophie has never been known as an injury-prone player. She has built her career on toughness and consistency, always showing up and performing at a high level. But in a season where Caitlin Clark has been banged up more than ever, where the Indiana Fever has already had to add new players just to fill the roster, now Sophie goes down too. This doesn't feel like coincidence. This feels like a dangerous trend that is spiraling out of control. V4. The Cunningham family has stopped holding back. They're calling things exactly as they see them, a league that spends more energy punishing players for speaking the truth than actually protecting them from serious harm. In their eyes, the WNBA's priorities are completely backwards.
Dirty Bria, of course, it had to be a dirty Bria. I would really hate to see ya in a dark alley. Dirty Bria Hartley back at it again with her shenanigans, and this time around she had her eyes set on one Sophie the Trophy Cunningham. Sophie, get well soon. Hopefully the MRI later today shows nothing too serious. Would love to see you back on the court. Bria Hartley dives for Sophie Cunningham's knees, doesn't even try to avoid the collision, doesn't try to move out the way. Bria Hartley sees Sophie's legs and says, that's the direction I'm going to fall in.
Sophie's sister Lindsay took to social media and went straight at the league. Her message was clear: stop worrying about fining players who criticize officiating and start hiring referees who can actually call a fair and consistent game while protecting athletes from reckless play. She didn't mince words, and fans quickly rallied behind her.
Player, and boy did it show up again today. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, and hit that bell notification. Listen, Sophie Cunningham was targeted, y'all. I'm telling you right now, Sophie Cunningham was targeted by Bria Hartley, and it just is what it is. It is what it is. I don't want to sit here and play games and act like, you know, she wasn't. She was targeted by Bria Hartley, and that's just the fact of the matter. And people can act like it's not all they want. I told you guys this girl was a dirty player, and that's all she did today was show how dirty.
The injury itself was painful to watch. On Sunday against the Connecticut Sun, Sophie Cunningham, known as the Fever's enforcer and one of the few players showing real fight, was defending the baseline when Bria Hartley barreled toward the basket. Hartley lost control and slammed directly into Sophie's right knee like a runaway train. Sophie collapsed instantly, clutching her knee in agony as tears streamed down her face. The Fever staff rushed to her side while fans sat in stunned silence.
I think when it comes to Bria Hartley, I don't know if the intent is there, but she's completely reckless. Like, there are some players you can tell the intent is there when they have to go out of their way to, like, I think when it comes to Alyssa Thomas, you can tell when she hits someone hard that the intent is there. You can tell that she wants to hurt maybe not hurt somebody, but she wants to rip them up. With Bria Hartley, I don't know. She might just be completely out of control. So that's something like completely reckless is fine. And then Sophie Cunningham's sister. Maybe you should focus less on fining players for commenting on your poor officiating and more about hiring officials that are able to call a consistent game and protect your athletes. Pathetic. Praying for you, so Fowler.
This wasn't just a split-second accident. Bria Hartley has a reputation for playing out of control, and this incident only reinforced it. Sophie's mother, Paula Cunningham, called Hartley a disgruntled player who causes problems everywhere she goes. She described her as mean, reckless, and dangerous on the court. And the truth is, Paula isn't wrong. Hartley has been involved in multiple rough incidents this season, leaving behind a growing trail of reckless collisions.
You can literally hear her screaming in pain. It's so heartbreaking. Indiana Fever star guard Sophie Cunningham, the enforcer, had a lower leg injury today against the Connecticut Suns. It happened on this play. She's helping on defense, steps up, gets her legs tangled, goes down, ruled out for the game. The severity of the injury is right now unknown, but she had to be helped off the court.
Now, this story is no longer just about Sophie's injury. It has turned into a full-scale fight between her family and the WNBA establishment. The Cunninghams are furious, and they're making it clear they're not going to stay silent anymore. They're even considering legal action against the league for failing to keep players safe. To them, Sophie is not to blame. She's one of the toughest, most reliable players in the league. But in a season where Caitlin Clark has missed 19 of 32 games with injuries, where the Fever has already lost Ari McDonald and Sydney Carlson for the year, now losing Sophie feels like the breaking point. The timing almost feels cruel, if it weren't so tragic. Once again, the referees stood by as another preventable injury happened right in front of them.
And Sophie's mother, Paula, Hartley is a disgruntled player having trouble everywhere she goes. She's playing mean and plays out of control. So, what can you say? I do not blame Sophie's mother and sister for being upset. Marina Mabrey went nuts in this game, scored 27 points.